Are you guys ready to hear about what our talk is going to be about?
You guys want to hear?
All right. Darlene, serenade us.
Okay, this is officially the most people I've ever played for, so
Woo!
show me some love.
Give her some love. Let's go.
All right. When your marketing becomes a problem, you go to AI to see what should you post, but that's no strategy, because after an hour of prompting, you'll end up with slop in the feed. So listen to our talk, we'll tell you what you need. ChatGPT, GPT, Gemini, and Perplexity. With our AI do's and don'ts, we'll make content easy.
Woo!
Thank you for indulging me.
Yeah.
Maybe later.
See if we can get some freestyle at the end.
Yep.
All right. Who remembers when ChatGPT came out back in November of 2022? I see a couple people raising their hands, right? How many people have ever used an AI tool before at all when working with their business or anything else? All right, very few people not raising their hands. So I remember this like promise, right? Sam Altman, Elon Musk, all these great people out there. They promised us that AI was going to take over the world, right? It was going to make our jobs easier, probably put us all out of business. But here we are in 2026, and all we have are all these weird fake cat videos on our Facebook feeds. And I don't know if it's actually done a whole lot, right? Now, I think a lot of you that have been using the tool as well can say like, okay, there's some places where I can use it and it's really helpful, but now it can be hard. Like, do I work on this prompt? Do I have it do this task? Calm down. We're gonna help you out in this talk, all right? We're gonna do one thing, and it's actually gonna help you create 90 days of content. And if we do that, what it can do is it can help us with our websites. It can help us with consistent social media posts. We'll get better engagement on those social media platforms. You can get a clarity on your strategy. You'll build more trust with your audience, which hopefully leads to more leads and more sales, which is what we really want. But before we get into it, we should probably tell them who we are.
More music, yes. Hey, I'm Darlene Wienheisen. I'm the creative director and co-founder of Dash Content Collective. We do done-for-you social media. I've spoke to many of you, you know who I am, but just as a refresher, we specialize in creating brands and publishing content that resonate and help your audience find you and want to buy from you. And you can find out more about us at dashcontentco.com.
Yep, and I'm Sam, and I run Thencan SEO and websites. Me and my team help local service providers get recommended by Google and ChatGPT. We also do websites as well, and if you want to learn more, you can head over to thencandesigns.com. So love nerding out on SEO. Love to help you with your biz. Now, me and Darlene, we've both been doing marketing for a little bit now, so we've heard the pain points of marketing, but I want to hear your guys' pain points. Some of the ones that we hear out there is, you might not know what to put on your website, you might not know what to post, maybe you got overwhelmed, so you've lost that inspiration or that motivation, maybe you're not seeing results, kind of like Dustin's first question, you're having a hard time measuring the ROI. So I'm just curious to know, like, what pain points are y'all having with your marketing right now?
Trying to be different and unique.
Yeah, Yep, that's a big one.
Don't like SEO.
Don't like SEO?
What do you not like about it?
It's not SEO. I don't like social media.
You don't like social media. I hear that all the time.
Do all the things that you guys do so well.
Yeah. And you're not alone. A lot of people don't like social media. But I'll bet that, if you're posting for your business, it feels like a chore. But if you're going to connect with your friends and your family, it's a little bit of a different feeling. No? Yes? Just okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I hate
fair.
social media
That's
too,
fair.
Brian.
That's fair. Okay.
With our line of work, so I have it in my phone every few days. Hey, post a reel,
Yeah, good.
Because otherwise, weeks, months can go by and I'll forget to do that. But it's also getting my employees to send me pictures, send me videos, so I actually have content to make these things with.
Yes.
So it's just a whole nother thing that you have to worry about,
Yeah, collecting the content, creating the asset, we call
and
that,
then
right?
Watching social media to find out what that industry is looking for, what kind of audience is it going to draw. It's time consuming.
Yeah, it is. I saw some other hands. David.
I think it's being consistent with your posting, but you're not getting the engagement.
Yep.
It seems like it's just a waste of time.
Yep.
So I
Yeah, I'm curious
So you
too.
get frustrated because it's like, that's why I should be just go knock on doors.
Yeah, you're speaking out into the void and nobody's answering you back. I know. That's heartbreaking. What kind of content are you posting?
Some it's our production stuff. Some we do. It seems like we get more actually interaction doing stories.
Yeah. Okay.
I do
Stories is
I
a great
do
one.
voiceover videos.
Good.
I'll be working on a project and talking about it, and I get that.
Yeah.
So,
Good. Yeah. So trying out some other media types too. We'll get into more ideas, but
I see one
in the back.
I'm referring to just the website. I've been told that you should update your website periodically, just so it has a fresher look, and you might get more hits. Because it costs money, graphic artists, what do you suggest on that? And also, do you like a blog? I'm in education. I teach, my company is a nonprofit for Spanish to English speakers. So I'm thinking about maybe a blog, but I also know you don't want your website too big.
Right.
So what do you want to do?
Yeah, I do think it's good to refresh your content. I heard an industry expert recently say, update about 30% every 3 months. So that's a good number to put in your back pocket, but I wouldn't obsess about it. And a blog can be helpful, but it might not lead to new business. So I think about how do we create the most engaging post that could actually help convert and drive more business. I've seen your hand up for a second.
Struggle with a couple things. I struggle with trying to get the photos and then worrying about the background and staging without too posy. And then for our store that we have, it's set up on Instagram as a business. So versus our rodeo, I have access to all of the songs for reels, whereas I only have access to a few, and it's so limiting to try to.
Yeah. We can chat after,
Okay.
but it sounds like your pain point is kind of managing the different accounts or navigating how to post for one versus for another.
Yeah, or business versus rodeos.
Business versus
Different
rodeo.
market.
Yeah. So different kind of different businesses or different interests.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So the bottom line is there's a lot of pain points when it comes to marketing.
Vast and varied.
And that kind of brings us to the next slide, which says, why do we use AI for marketing? And I think the main reason is that it's been promised to us that it's going to be faster, easier, free, or at least $20 a month for that ChatGPT Pro, right? And I think the argument could be made if you're running a store or a nonprofit or a gift basket company or insurance, it's well, surely this tool that's been trained on the internet, totally legally, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh
think,
yeah.
that's been trained on the entire internet should be better at marketing than me because I don't do marketing, right? That's, I think, the script that's playing in a lot of people's heads. But what's actually happened, Darlene?
What has actually happened is the opposite. AI can make things more frustrating. It can make, for instance, in the early days, it was definitely giving us extra fingers, right? Which
Remember
who
those?
really wants that? And then the copy can be very wordy without actually saying anything. So if you read through that big chunk of text that ChatGPT gives you, it's I'm lacking the substance here. What are you actually even saying? I know Sam has dealt with some messy code situations where it promised to code something for you and doesn't really, or it doesn't work.
And get stuck in a loop and well-used time.
And then I kind of mentioned this earlier, is that basically it delivers the same strategy that it's giving to you as it does to everybody else, because it's kind of like a calculator in that way. It's using predictive text. So it's oh, you want a content strategy? Here you go. Here's some content pillars. But it's giving that same thing to your competitor. So if you're both using the same strategy, you're both looking the same online. So I think that we revert to AI to help us, but what it's actually doing, if it's not done well, is that we can end up looking really kind of silly online, and it's getting really obvious where people have just defaulted to AI. So these are some of the things to watch out for. The M dashes, which is kind of a joke at this point. It's really, I love M dashes. I love to write. I have a background in writing, but I don't use them as much as AI does. So I always ask those to be removed. And then they use the same words. There's some list of words that it was trained on at some point that is oh, if you want to market your business, you should use Game Changer and Level Up. And it's no, you really shouldn't. Like I already said, the strategy becomes very samesies. And then the graphics too, specifically to go off on a design tangent a little bit, you can ask, ChatGPT or whatever to create some graphics for you, but then you're kind of stuck with this graphic that you can't really edit the text of. So if you need to like change where it says shop nug to shop now, you have to basically recreate the graphic anyway. So now you've created work for yourself, right? Logo design, I'm just going to touch on really briefly, is when you're asking it for any kind of branding, be very, very careful, because AI does not actually do good due diligence for design like a designer would, where they look at your market and your competitors. So it will give you something that is probably not actually usable legally. I'll just leave that there. If you have questions, we can talk about it after. And then AI, still hallucinates a lot. So when I'm working with AI, I'm giving it information and I'm asking it to give me something back. And it will even like argue with me about information I've already given it and say, no, I didn't give that to you. I said this other thing. And then it will be like, oh, you're right. And so you have to watch out for that, for spreading any kind of like misinformation that it gives you. So always like fact check, and also check the links that it will give you that it's referencing, because a lot of times I've gone to those links and it's still grabbing information that's not even on that source. So it's really weird. Okay, here's an example of the things that we were promised and then the things that we were given. So I went onto Pinterest and I searched ChatGPT prompts. And you probably see this all the time too, just when you're scrolling content, you'll see like, oh, this like amazing promise that AI is going to give you all of these things. And then if you test any of it, you can see how flat it falls. So I grabbed this one, the secret prompts to go viral, right? Which, let me tell you something, there is no secret to going viral. It is a random thing. So anyone who tells you that they can make you go viral is lying to you and wants your money. So it says, turn this topic into a short story that triggers an instant, OMG, that's me reaction. So I was like, okay, chat, let's do this. So turn this topic into a short story, I said the topic is human resources. Okay, this is the whole amount of text that it gave me. This is not a short story. And nowhere in here did I get an instant, OMG, that's me reaction. So I just wanted to kind of like bring that up, as like when you start to test these things and put it through like an actual exercise, it kind of is like, it's really not what I was hoping for.
I like some of the text that's in there too. It's like, hi, Jordan, how are you? That tone, bright, careful, like talking to a glass sculpture.
Yeah.
So what do we do about this AI quality problem? Because we get a lot of that stuff when we're doing prompts. And Darlene's going to tell us about the shift.
Yeah, so I think the prompts really illustrate like AI is trying to just throw more at you, give you more and more and more content and more words and more ideas. And here's like 20 ideas for a LinkedIn post. Well, I don't really need 20 ideas. I don't need more. I need something better, right? So like I need something that is going to actually be different from my competitor. So the shift here is not doing more posting, not posting more often or like 5 times a day. It's posting more strategically, and it's using unique stories that are going to tell your how and your why, and talk about your business that only you, in ways that only you can share. So we're going to talk about what actually moves the needle. So the first thing is authenticity, which I've been kind of talking about today, but like basically that AI doesn't actually know what you do, so it can't create a viral post for you without you telling it, here's what I do, here's my zone of genius, here's my expertise. So you have to feed it a lot of information. But you have this knowledge in your brain. Like if you sat down to talk to me about your business, like a lot of you have, I start to hear about your specific point of view, the way that you solve problems, what you love to offer your clients. So you have that insider knowledge, and that's where I'm suggesting that you lead with authenticity. And then consistency. I say this all the time. It's you got to kind of play that long game of creating trust. So showing up, like not every day, but weekly, consistently. And then posting consistently. You don't have to post every day, but posting consistently. And then encouraging engagement with your content. So that could mean something that is fun to watch. It could mean something that's fun to share. But it could also mean that you're telling people what to do after they look at your content. So you're giving them a call to action. We see a lot of great content miss the mark because the viewer wasn't given a next clear step. Like, oh, that's an amazing video, but what do I do now? It's very easy just to say, go to our website or follow us for more, or give me a call, or DM me about this offer. And if you can't think of a good CTA, or if you want to kind of mix it up, you can also ask an engaging question. People love to answer questions about, what their favorite, roofing project was that you just shared, or what interiors project that you're showcasing, which bathroom they loved the best or something like that. So finding a way to ask a question that will engage your audience is another good way to get them to engage with your content.
And the big thing we want to do is if we want to get recommended everywhere, we got to tell search everything. And so I like to have these things called the SEO hotspots. And so that's your SEO title. That's the thing that shows up in the tab that I was talking about earlier. Your meta description, your URL, which is the link that shows up after the slash on your website, and that first header. These are the most important spots to tell Google and the AI tools exactly what you do and where you do it. And so you want to make sure, especially if you're a service-based business, to do this on your service pages, on your location pages, on your homepage, and also on the post for your Google Business Profile. And there's a real big differentiating factor. It's like we can, my guy in the back, Thomas, right? Landscaping. It's like if he just says, "Hey, I have a landscaping business in Bend. What can we put on that page?" Again, like the see a sameness that Darlene's talking about, it's going to give roughly that same advice to every landscaper in Bend, unless you're explaining what your expertise is. You guys know the quirks and nuances of your business better than your competitors, right? So you damn well know it better than ChatGPT and Claude. So let's make sure that that's coming through on your website, either in FAQs or maybe even a select few blog posts like our friend suggested in the back. One thing is, in the next couple of slides, me and Darlene are going to show where industry leaders are talking about this. So Liz Reed is the head of Google Search, and we don't always believe what Google tells us, but they were talking about, how do we get recommended AI overviews, and what she was really focusing on, you can see kind of in the highlighted text there, in-depth reviews, original posts, unique perspectives, first-person analysis. These are the kind of things they want to reference. Now, are they always doing that? No, sometimes they tell us to put glue on our pizza, but they're working on it. The AI overviews are getting better, and this is what they want to feature, and so they're kind of foreshadowing hey, try to give us these things so that way we can serve them up over time. And if we switch over to Instagram.
Yeah, the same shift is happening on social media. So the head of Instagram, Adam Osari, has also said that authenticity is becoming a scarce resource. So there's going to be more demand for creator content, which is basically you as business owners. You are the creator content of your business. So it's shifting from what can you create to can you make something that only you can make with your own perspective. In a world of infinite abundance and infinite doubt, creators who can maintain trust and signal authenticity by being real, transparent, and consistent will stand out. So what we want to know is if you could use AI to help you in a few strategic ways, but you can insert yourself into the process so that you don't get lost in that sea of sameness. How are you going to be able to actually see results and use this marketing process? That's what we're going to show you.
Here's how you do it.
So you may not love this idea, but basically you're going to make one video and you can turn it into 90 days or more of content for your business.
But wait, Darlene, I hate making videos. I don't want to be on camera. That's what everybody's thinking right now.
Right? They are. Who likes to be on video? Okay, cool.
Shout out to Bruno in the back.
I'm glad the rest of you are here because you all are like, you're going to make me make a video. Yes, and I'm going to give you some really good tips to utilize video and not be, super scared, not get lost in the sauce.
You also don't have to become an influencer.
You don't have to become an influencer, but video is where it's at, and video is leading into that whole shift to authenticity. So here's a few stats just to back up why I'm giving you this crazy video idea. 73% of consumers like to watch short form video to learn about products and services. Short form video, like I said earlier, gets over 2.5 times the engagement, which engagement is what you like. There's not a whole lot of things that we can say for sure about the algorithm because they're changing them all the time. But we do know that Instagram and Facebook prioritize things that are getting engaged with. So if video is where that's at, I strongly encourage you to think about making some videos. And then 80% of people prefer to watch a video instead of reading a blog. I love blogs. I don't want to see them go away at all, but long form video and short form video, which we're going to talk through, are really being highlighted and are probably going to only continue to be so. So we're gonna walk through step one of how do you make one 30-minute video. 30 minutes might sound like a long time, right? But there's a reason why I'm suggesting that it's 30 minutes. And really, it could be like 15 to 30 minutes, but this is gonna give you a long enough video to reuse, and it will give you some time to dive into your topics. Okay, so I'm gonna try to like break this down and make it sound easy. So the first thing you wanna do is write a script or have some talking points ready. You can use a friend to interview you off camera, and I'm gonna pick on Sarah in a minute. And then you could also record the video with someone else in the video so that you don't feel so like on the spot. But when you go to edit the video, just keep in mind to like give yourself some distance so you can crop it, or keep in mind of how you're gonna edit it later, and we'll kind of get into this. So I recorded Sarah doing some of these videos a couple weeks ago, and she used the number 2 method, right, where Jamie was just like behind the camera, and so Sarah spoke to Jamie about her zone of expertise and who H. Wild is, and I could see Sarah like getting more comfortable on video the more she was focusing on talking to Jamie. And do you want to add anything about your experience?
I hate being on camera. Would way rather be in front of a room of 500 people than on camera. But that interaction leads to a much more conversational tone and approach, which in turn engages, I think, the viewer better, because they feel like you're talking to them and having a conversation with them on the other side of the screen. So I think it was a game changer. Not to use a buzzword, but
No, it's okay.
It's a game changer. You leveled up.
You leveled up. You used it in real life. I mean, it does help, and we've seen our clients do this. We go into their place of business month after month after month, and they don't want to be on video either. But we are video forward. It's kind of like a non-negotiable when working with us, because we want you to get that ROI, and that's where it is. So if you can set up a tripod and just talk to a friend, it will really help like with the nerves, and it'll just help everything flow a lot better. So a couple more things on this slide is that we do have a podcast called Cringe Mountain Diaries, and this is kind of the process of climbing Cringe Mountain, because when you first get on video, it feels very cringy and you don't want to watch it, you don't want to post it. But if you keep going, it gets more comfortable and it gets easier. So that's where Cringe Mountain came from. So if you want more tips on video and just kind of marketing stuff in general, you can find us wherever you like to get your podcasts or on YouTube. And the other little photos there in the corner are just proof that you do not need to start with the perfect setup. We've been doing video for 3 years now, each of us, on our own channels and our own like methods. And early on, my videos, you can see them if you go way back on the dash, like Instagram. I talk very much like this. And I'm like, oh, you should use your brand voice. And then in the later videos, you can see how I've kind of climbed my own cringe mountain. So I've been able to let my personality come out. I've been able to figure out like where is the best lighting that also doesn't take me an hour to set up, so I can just kind of like get the video done when I need to get it done and not have it take up my whole day. You want to speak about your video journey?
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of time, I'll be short, but like, if you look at the little guy up in the top there, like, that's when the YouTube channel had like 10 subscribers, and the only person that was watching it was my brother. Shout out to Dean. But, like down on the bottom that, I had like somebody help me set up this studio, and, like I have a community where I teach over 100 people how to do SEO, and it's like, I need to show up for that. And so it's literally the same room, just turned in a different angle, and the lights bouncing off the wall. It's all these little tricks, but it's all these little tools, and you can like iteratively grow yourself. Like it does not need to be this fantastic thing out the gate. You can work your way up over time.
Yep. So more kind of practical how tips for the one like long video that we're gonna talk about. You want to shoot that in landscape. And that is so that you can put it on a lot of different platforms, and then you can edit it down later to do shorts. Definitely use a tripod if you can. I'm suggesting just shoot it on your phone, but if you have someone that does video on your team, go for it. But you don't have to start off with all the fancy tools. You want to do the kind of videos where you're looking directly to the camera. So the direct to camera videos are what is performing the best. So if you're going to prioritize, I'm going to talk about other video types, but to prioritize the one that's really moving the needle, do the direct to camera style. And then, just have yourself right in the middle, use natural light if you can, and then do a couple of tests. So, record, maybe you go through some of your talking points and then you stop the video and go watch it. But don't let it stop you from from actually recording the whole video. Just make sure that you kind of like where you're positioned, that you like the lighting, that you like how you're sounding, and then kind of give yourself that permission that the first video is probably not going to be that great, and it's fine because you can move on. I always need help staying on topic, so if I'm using a friend, I will have them give me my talking points one at a time, and then I just edit out the space in between. Or we use what we call the Post-it note method at Dash. It's super high tech. We have our phone right here, and so I'd be using the back camera, and I write my bullet points of what I want to cover on the Post-it note so that my eyes are still going to the camera, but I've got my little prompter. There's also apps that you can use that are like teleprompter apps. CapCut has one. I'm sure there's others, but those are just some little tricks that you can use so that you don't ramble on like I did for my first 20 videos. The other thing, and I'll come back to this, is that when you're doing this sort of long form video, go ahead and record a few closing lines, the calls to action lines. So like the follow me for more, or visit my website at or come see me talk at blah, blah, blah. Those are the call to action lines. And then also record a few hooks. So I'll go into more of what those are, but basically that's like your opening line that's going to grab people in on the short videos. So kind of try to batch your recording if you can. Once you get in the flow, it's easier to record all those little pieces at once. And AI can help you with some of those ideas, but again, proofread. So you might be wondering, what the heck do I even talk about on this video?
What the heck do I even talk about in this video?
Yep. So I would take, some notes from Sam, go to your FAQs and see, what do you find yourself always talking about? Like always explaining or always telling someone who first walks in your doors. Start there. Because making a video about it is, it's going to give something for other people to refer to, but, B, it's obviously something that they need to know more about. And so it's a good place to start. Case studies, past projects are also a great place to find really good content ideas. Any time that you can showcase your unique vision, your unique way that you've solved a problem, that is definitely what I would put on a video. And then the interviews or the podcast style, that's kind of another way to go with it, where you have a client or you have another team member and they're asking you questions, and this could be on camera or this could be they're off camera, and you're definitely doing that Q&A style. So the role of AI here, how you can really use AI to help you, is that if you already have some content or a story in mind, ask AI to help you write a script as well as the CTAs and the hooks. And if you don't, then I would ask AI to help you come up with some questions for you to answer on camera. So when we do our podcast, sometimes I ask ChatGPT, hey, what are I want to talk about, the ROI of social media. And I maybe have a blog post written about that where I'm sharing my expertise, but I don't have it from the other perspective, right? Of what would you ask me about the ROI of social media? So you can have it kind of help you come at a piece of content from the other perspective. And using that Q&A format is a lot easier than just sitting down and being okay, I'm going to tell you the story of this project. It just tends to flow a little easier. And then where the human comes into this is you always want to take that script and then put it in your own words. So chat will make things wordy, as we saw, it'll insert things in there that aren't really true or that aren't true to your experience, or that maybe overpromise something that you want to reel back a little bit. So that's where I would go through and edit that script heavily, or edit those questions. And you definitely, as the human, you always want to default to speaking from your heart and from your own experience. So if you get on camera and you start going off script, just go with it. Share your story. It's just kind of a starting point. And You had added a bonus. Do you want to talk about?
I did add a bonus, yeah. So if you're having trouble coming with the FAQs, maybe like, I don't know, we do this all the time with clients. We're like, hey, give us your top questions you get when people walk through the door to work with you. And they're like, and I'm like, all right. So we're gonna Google your service now. And there's a section that says people also ask. And so that's just proof that people are asking those questions when they're looking for your service. So you can answer those ones. So I would always lean on those questions you get all the time from your actual prospective clients. That's what I would do first. But then after that, you can source some extra questions from there, which I think is better than sourcing from AI first. But a lot of times the AI will actually look at that now too. So that's kind of nice.
So at this point, once you've recorded your first video, you may not love it, but you have to post it. And I told Sarah the same thing. I was like, I know that it's gonna be not perfect, but honestly, if you've created a video and now it just goes like on the cutting room floor, as they say, where you just delete it or just lives on your phone, then all of that work is not gonna help you at all. So just go ahead and post it. People wanna hear from you. So just a couple quick do's and don'ts. Write down the actual questions that you get asked. Try to document a handful of your case studies to review if you don't already have them. Describe things in your own words, speak from your heart, and definitely don't follow AI's overly wordy or can get a little sentimental script. Don't let AI make you think that you need a bunch of different camera angles or cutaways. Once like ChatGPT or whatever tool you're using figures out that you're gonna make a video, it wants to like play director with you. And it's like, first we're gonna fade in and then we're gonna have this swoop over here. And I always have to be like, nope, 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 nope. Keep it simple. We're just doing direct to camera, right? So don't let it bully you. And definitely try, I'm gonna like ease this one a little bit, but try to not outsource this video part to anybody else. You as the business owner, or if you're the expert on your team that knows about this method or this project, you are the best one to talk about this. So your enthusiasm, your heart, your why is gonna come through to the camera much more than, like your receptionist or your marketing consultant or anybody else. So we love to get business owners on the camera because they can just, rattle off and like all this amazing gold starts coming out of their mouths. And it's like, see, like you have the expertise here. So, so try to not outsource it to anyone else.
You're the face of your business. Be the face. All right, so we're not just gonna make this video, post it on YouTube and go viral and everything's over at that point, right? We can start investing in crypto and our lives change. No, we have to actually do something with this video. I know, we're getting there, Bill, don't worry. So we're gonna start, so we got at this video. What are we gonna do with this video when it comes to our website? Because even though Dash specializes in social media, what do you guys always say?
Website first.
So,
because if you're making content and driving it to your website, but your website's not optimized, what is the point, Sam?
There, maybe none. So what's the role of our website? You guys probably heard this before. It's like your 24/7 salesperson. Somebody wakes up in the middle of the night and thinks, oh, I really got to, get an awning for this summer. And so they start searching awning near me, and maybe your business shows up. They fill out the contact form submission. That's what you really want, right? Like that's the dream of SEO. It's also where you're going to point your social media and your other marketing. And if it's optimized, it can get you recommended, which is great. And so what's the role of AI? Well, I think, and this is great, right? This is almost a game changer because I think a lot of marketing people will go, yeah, I said it. Dang it. There's been a lot of M dashes too. You guys just couldn't see those. So the problem is, we have this tendency to want to run to AI first, like, hey, I'm working with a business consultant in Redmond, Oregon. Give me some ideas for service pages for this business, and then Claude gives me the same thing that it gave to this other marketing company that's working with a different business consultant, maybe in Central Oregon, and it talks about the high desert and blah, 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 and all this stuff that really doesn't matter. We don't really want to do that. What I'm recommending is if you start with that video transcript that you got and have it help create the copy of a service page, using a prompt that's something like, act as an expert copywriter and follow the story brand marketing framework. See, I'm trying to give it guardrails to stay within to create a business consulting service page for this business optimized for Bend, Oregon. If I'm giving it the transcript and I'm giving it that, then the copy's halfway decent. I still don't want to publish that straight up without looking at it, removing those M dashes and all those game changers, but it's like, at least we have a good starting place. And what I would recommend is to do the keyword research and optimize those SEO hotspots I was talking about earlier for the keywords that are still getting the most search volume, and we can humanize that copy, and then we can put it in your website builder, whether it's something like WordPress or Webflow or even something like GoDaddy Page Builder. And so my big do's and don'ts for the website is do ask AI to help with the copy, which are the words on the page. You can have it create schema, which is just like a little code that can tell the robots more about what your business does. You can use it to help you structure those FAQs. You can even have it give suggestions for SEO hotspots. You can have Gemini give those suggestions, but make sure you have the final say in the SEO hotspots because it's too important. Also, don't let it just publish copy without human oversight. Don't set up your open claw and create a bunch of automations and create a bunch of pages. Most of you guys probably don't know what that means, and thank God you don't, because we don't need to be doing that. And also, don't let it build a website, right? Unless you're going to build a one-pager that's going to be very temporary for business that just started, don't go to one of these vibe coding tools. They have a ton of security vulnerabilities, and usually what they make is not that good. I'm actually going to show you an example here in a little bit. But yeah, those are your do's and don'ts.
Okay, so here is kind of the top level view of where we're going with this one video. So you have the one long form video. We're then going to take it and turn it into shorts. So you're going to take that video, edit it up, chop it all up, and we're going to create these different types of shorts, right? So again, if you can only do one of these, direct to camera is the one that you want to do. We're going to go through what each of these are. And then you can also take the content that you talk about here, and you can turn it into some static posts of the graphics, captions for your photos, and then carousels. Do you know what I am talking about when I say a carousel? Okay, yes, no, no. Okay, just in case. It's the slider posts on Instagram or on LinkedIn. It's like it would be kind of like a PDF, but there's different platforms do better with sliders. Basically, carousels work well on Instagram. So if you don't need that, then just ignore the carousels. Oh, the other thing is the monthly content calendar is where you're going to put these. So we like to color code things at Dash. So S with the yellow square is for the shorts. So any one of these styles could be in that S box. G is a graphic, and P is a photo. So you can see how we're not posting every day. Some of those squares are blank, right? We don't do weekends either. Shocker. We don't post businesses on the weekends because, like, you know, why should we? We're all like with our families. It's not needed. So we stick to Monday through Friday. Unless you have an event or something like very specific to your business, then go for it. So you can take these posts, kind of spread them out, and create yourself like a little content calendar by mixing up the media type or the asset. So that's kind of like the big level view.
Yeah, depending on how much you talk about in the video, you can do either one website page or multiple website pages, maybe even all of your pages, make them better. And that can serve in your Google Business Profile, which is the place where you get reviews. You can actually do posts on there. You don't need to post on there every day. It's not Instagram. But if you post there about once a week, it can just be some engagement that Google sees that can help it serve you up at the right time.
Okay, now I'm going to show you, let me step over here. I'm going to show you how basically one video, if it, you know, again, 15 to 30 minutes, gets chopped up into all of the good little bites and pieces that you've said into shorts. So we can typically get 10 direct-to-camera shorts from one long-form video. So then you turn those also into, basically you're saying the same thing, but you're presenting it a different way. So this would be like your graphic or your animated shorts. And then this would be your voice over B-roll, where you take what you're saying here, but instead of your face, you're showing what we call B-roll, which is like basically footage where you're not looking directly at the camera.
You have a good example of that.
We have examples, yeah. So if you're like, what is all this jargon and lingo? We'll get there. And then I'm also showing you how like you take this, you're not creating new concepts or content, you're repurposing it, right? So like these ideas get turned into graphics, which then you can find photos, write captions for the photos that talk about these ideas. And then they also can be turned into carousels. And then also on your website.
Can you guys see why I do websites and SEO instead of social media? No, I'm just kidding. But yes, we could take that video and we can have it serve up the content for pages as well as for these posts to your Google Business Profile.
So essentially with one video created strategically and then repurposed, you're posting like maybe 4 times a week, which is 3 to 4 times a week is good, a good place to start. You're getting 60 posts, Monday through Friday, 15 weeks of content. Can you start to see why like making one long video and reusing it like 20 different ways is helpful? Yes.
Do you ever post the one long video just by itself anywhere on any platforms?
Definitely YouTube. Definitely YouTube is where you want to put it. And then you can post this long video and you can reference it in all of these. You can go see the full thing on YouTube, or link in bio, or on Facebook, put the link, or in LinkedIn, put the link right there. So for sure, you can continue to reference back this long video, which is why it's super valuable, because it's the whole story, right? I'm going to talk about shorts and what makes a good short, but a short is, you're not giving away the whole story. You're giving away like that snippet or that pull quote.
And if you're feeling overwhelmed by this, don't worry. We're not going to try to get you guys to do all this. This is more if you're working with a professional.
This is like the maximum amount.
So now I know lunch is in 10 minutes, and some people probably have to go at noon. So we're gonna speed run the last little bit of this, which I know makes us sad because we worked so hard on this. But that's okay. So first up, we're gonna talk about the perfect service page. So I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about this because I have YouTube videos that go over this in more detail if you want to learn more about it. But you want to optimize every service page on your website for conversions, trust signals, and you want to highlight case studies as well throughout. So you want to make it very easy for people to work with you and add trust signals. So I just want you guys to take a look. We have 2 service page examples here. One of them was made by AI. One of them was made by Sam in 5 minutes in his bed last night because he did it too late. Can you guess which one was AI and which one was real? Jamie?
I can't see the other one.
Oh.
I can only see ours, so.
I'd say the right is AI.
Yeah. Notice that even though I told the thing on the right, I told Gemini 3 times on the right that the business is called HWILD Consulting, it still created the wrong business name.
Hallucination.
And I love how it talked about the high desert. It always talks about the high desert if it thinks you're doing a business. And so again, this is not what our quality of work looks like, but this is just what I made in 5 minutes to keep it very clear. But anyway, you want to have the perfect service page. And when it comes to Google Business Profile posts, a lot of people try to overcomplicate this. Like I said, about 1 post per week. This is the posting strategy we actually use with our clients. We do one where we introduce the business and we point back to the homepage. We do a post for each one of the services, so we just kind of cycle through all of them. Then we do a post for each service location. Sometimes we'll circle back through and do the services in a different location. That's down the road. Then we'll do a post for the team pointing back to the about page, and then we'll do a post with a direct call to action pointing to the contact page. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Back to you.
Okay, I'm going to go through this quickly because I've already talked about some of it, but basically long form over 15 minutes, a short is 15 to 30 seconds, and portrait. And then that hook is that sort of grabby line that will help you stop the scroll. We talk about hooks on our podcast, so we have an episode that I can link to later when I give you my QR code for freebies. Spoiler, I will send out the podcast episodes to highlight on that to you also. Call to action is that direction for them to take. If you're just starting out, just start with follow for more, because you don't want to ask like people to buy from you on the first interaction with them. So just getting them to follow you and consume more of your content is a nice, like, easy ask. The engagement question we kind of talked about. And then what makes a good short is basically it's kind of a self-contained clip, like that pull quote or that little snippet that gives like one tip or one takeaway, but it's not necessarily, you don't have to tell the whole story, or it doesn't have to have a lot of context. People are expecting it to be kind of that one quick little bite. One small thing of value, or something that is, kind of funny or insightful. I will say, don't let AI decide what is a good short. So if you're using one of those video editing programs like CapCut or something else, there's an AI feature where it can make the shorts for you. So we did some shorts with Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Trout. I'm the founder and CEO of HWILD Business Consulting.
So that's the AI one.
So that's the AI one. AI thought that was a great short.
It's going to go viral.
No,
Now,
so her actual short was much
If
better
you're
than
building
that.
something important and need a partner to help with structure, organization, or clarity, welcome to HWILD. Hi, I'm Sarah Trout. I'm the founder and CEO of HWILD Business Consulting.
But captions
and
still
we're
need to be
here
proofread,
be your
because
partner on
proper
the path
nouns
to
AI will always
success.
get wrong.
Our focus is not just on changing
not
companies,
gonna watch
but on changing.
Yeah.
If you're building something important,
So this is just an example of voiceover B-roll. So basically I just took what she said and then put some other B-roll over it. Ideally, you're using B-roll of yourself. So when you go to record that video, having a list of ideas of what kinds of B-roll to record. Like it could be you working at a desk or you interacting with a client. Just simple little shots like that you can then use here. I used a bunch of stock, which is also like something you could do. But ideally, in the best case scenario, it's more of you. It's more of them seeing you in your real, place of business and how you really interact with people. And then this is more of an animated or like graphic video where you're taking like very limited text or maybe more like design elements, but you're taking kind of a similar concept or overall theme and you're putting that into video form. So that's how you get, you know, you have the 10 shorts of talking direct to camera. You've got basically you're touching on the same topics, but doing it in a different way. And then you do that again and again and again. But who's overwhelmed by this idea? Does it seem like a lot?
You could be real. It's okay. This is a
Yeah.
safe space.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Bruno's overwhelmed, and he's the guy videotaping us in the back right now.
So we think that this idea is what leads to some of that overuse and like that dependency on AI, right? Because it's like, oh my God, this is too much. Like, how do I make it easier? What we are suggesting is that you pare it way back. And yes, start with the long form video as long as you can, but then prioritize the direct to camera videos and maybe just do like 5. And then turn those into a couple of graphics and then grab a couple photos, write the same idea in a caption, and then just do 1 carousel. Does that feel, and then
you got to hit at least one of those pages and make a couple GBP posts.
yeah. Does this feel less overwhelming? More doable? Okay, great.
Bruno's giving us a thumbs up, so we're doing good.
When we hear like, oh, AI is taking over marketing and like, oh, we don't need social media because we'll just use AI. For us, you know, we already talked through like the issues with that, but we like to use AI so that it can free us up to actually be more human in our business. So we can sit down and show that like care, attention to detail, ROI in the video. But then we use AI to help us chop up all the pieces and come up with, you know, the B-roll ideas and that kind of thing so that we've put our energy into the piece that matters, which is that authenticity. So AI is really helping us, you know, focus on like what really matters to us and what matters to our customers more. And this leads to like being able to post more consistently when you have more pieces of content like this, but you're not really doing any like extra work, which can increase that trust, that connection, and then shorten that sales cycle and have people ready to buy from you sooner, which is what we want for all of you.
And look, we got free stuff.
We have free stuff.
So of course, we can only scrape the surface in an hour. So we've provided some free resources. There's 2 different QR codes because even though it looks like we're so in sync that we work for the same company, but we have 2 different companies. So she's the social media queen. So she's got 30 days of video prompt sheets, short form video checklist, and way better graphics than Sam does. So that's the QR code on the right. And then
Sam is the king of SEO and all things local search. He's the best. So get his replay from his Lunch and Learn because he also told you how to get found and how to get recommended by ChatGPT. Get access to his exclusive AI SEO tools and hidden access to more DIY SEO tools, resources, prompt library, some really fun stuff in his toolkit there.
Yeah. We'll go back to the QR code in a second if you missed that. But we want to, before we get to the questions, which we're going to leave open until lunch starts, we did want to make a crazy offer for anybody that's interested. And so our man in the back, Bruno, how many subscribers do you have on YouTube right now?
Just hit 12K.
12K, 12,000. That's 6 times as many as me. Dang you, Bruno. It's not a competition. So Bruno is very good at professional video editing, long form content. And so we got long form video king, SEO king, social media queen, all here in the room. And so what we want to do is, if anybody's interested, we have kind of a lower ticket offer because we want to give people an opportunity to make this accessible. And so basically what it would be is being able to work with all 3 of us so that you can get the long form content already and not have to worry about the lighting and the camera and all that stuff. Bruno's got all that for you. Getting the strategy and maybe some of the posting stuff from Darlene and also getting some of the SEO advice from me and my team. And so if you're interested in that, you can come up to us afterwards. We can talk about it, and we're gonna keep working on that. But we just want to throw that out there for if anybody feels like they're in the right spot for something like that. But anyway, what questions do we have for the next 2 minutes, or as long as you guys want to hang out? David.
Well, I know you did talk about the editing process and how to get that skill, and I see some of my competitors who have voiceover video, text. I don't have that skill yet. I need to learn how to do that. So what's your recommendations on?
The video examples that you saw here were made in Canva.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm not a video. Yeah, I'm honestly not a video expert in terms of editing either. Everything that I've learned, I've literally learned in the last probably year and a half. We use a video editor now too. So there are, resources that you can find that are pretty reasonable for video editing, and for clients, that's what we do. But I will say, like, Canva and CapCut do make things pretty user-friendly. The AI tools on Canva and CapCut are helpful for, like, Canva has a really fun like beat sync feature where you can put music to it and put your graphics or your words, and it will like sync it up. And that works like most of the time. It's pretty fun to play with.
So you can upload video too.
You can upload video.
I just do
Yeah.
pictures mostly.
Exactly.
So I didn't, like, do video like that.
Yeah. So explore the video tools in Canva. Yeah. And then just watch out for those like shorts. That's all I'll say about that.
What other questions do we have?
Is Canva C-A-N? I never did this.
Yeah, it's Canva. It's where we
That's
put
where our
our
presentation was made.
Yeah. So it
It's a great
has
tool.
like, it'll do graphics, presentations. You can even like make t-shirts through Canva now and have them sent to print. It's kind of
But
wild.
don't do that. Use our personal touch.
Yeah, don't do that. I don't really trust it.
That's where I got this shirt made.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Question. Any other questions?
SEO, social media, AI, lottery numbers. I think Darlene's got them. No.
No.
Dang.
Do you feel like your pain points were addressed? Like, were there any pain points that we didn't touch on today? Good.
See, thumbs
We
up.
solved all your problems.
I'm curious your thoughts on, I'm completely getting off of ChatGPT because of the security issues now.
Yeah.
And I'm moving all over to Claude, and I'm closing
Yeah.
my ChatGPT, anything to do with ChatGPT. I also would say I'm finding Claude to be a much better option. It's got a lot more features on it, and it's got a lot more, I guess it coaches me more on prompts sometimes. I'll brain dump into it and I'll talk to it and just have a really good conversation and then ask it to organize it, and I'm finding it much better. But then it asks me questions for clarity.
Oh yeah. Like, what is it
So
missing?
I've gone away, I'm not on chat.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do
And
it.
just to clarify too, anytime that we said chat, just insert whatever tool you like. Like, we
I
don't
just
like
don't
cell
know if
chat.
people know what's going on with that, so I just
Yeah.
am mentioning it.
Yeah, I'm with you for sure. Yes.
And that's Claude by Anthropic, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. So any tool, like the methods and the recommendations pretty much go to any like AI tool, just kind of principles for AI use in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
each tool kind of is a little better at different things. Claude's kind of historically been the one that's better at like copy, so we've started to use it more for like making copy for websites or to like help us revise stuff. Gemini for a while was like the king of code, and so if we needed to make like a calculator for a website, we would use that. And yeah,
I'm having a lot of fun on Notebook LM too.
Notebook LM is a fun one,
I'm
yeah.
really having a good time on that one.
It's also easy to get trapped in like shiny object syndrome as business owners, and so I think it's like how do we like stay focused, and also like I try to take a pretty whatever stance against anything, but it's like all big tech companies, generally speaking, are stealing your information because if the product is free or low cost, you are the product. So just remember that. And so it's like, the reason why I'm going to keep using ChatGPT is because they have so much of the market share right now, and I want to make sure our clients are showing up there. Doesn't necessarily mean I agree with what's happening, but I'm just going to say, we'll keep using the tool for that sense. But yeah, big tech is what big tech is. We've let it grow into what it is, and we kind of, it's like a lot of people complain about Google, but it's like, hey man, like they're the king. So it's like, they made it so easy to use my Gmail, my Google Calendar, and everything else. Like, what else am I supposed to do? And it's like you try to, you can watch YouTube videos on people trying to disconnect from everything, and they're like, shoot, I can't even live in the world without it. It's kind of scary when you think about it. But anyway, I'll get off that soapbox.
Any other questions?
Oh.
Yeah.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
On Instagram. Anything, tips?
So you're doing, like, you want to post something with somebody else and you want to add them as a collaborator?
Yeah, say I want to go over and take a video over at Dana's place and do a collaboration. How would you do that?
Well, it's really pretty easy, but you want to start off first with a conversation with them. So either you're telling them when you're doing the content, I'm going to tag you as a collaborator, or do I have, like, are we on board and all that? Because what we've seen happen is people will create the content and then go to post it and then add somebody as a collaborator, and there wasn't a conversation first, and it will be like, nope, I don't know what you're talking, or what this is about or whatever. And so we don't want to have that happen, because you can also like deny collaboration. But essentially, when you are doing a collaborative post, it gets posted on your feed and it gets posted on their feed. So it's great cross promotion. We should probably do collaborator posts, but you're not on Instagram.
Sorry.
So anyways.
Brian hates social media, right?
I recommend it, and it's great to get open up to somebody else's audience, because it does post both places. But just make sure that you're, as business owners or whatever, that you're both in agreement on that. So.
They have that on YouTube now too. I've seen that.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk later then.
Dustin's telling us we got to get out of here. John, last question.
Okay.
So speaking of Instagram, posts, stories, or reels. I hate them all, but to
Do-
grow it. is
Do all of
reels.
them if you can.
Well, yeah, I know, but reels are more.
Direct to camera video, number one. So reels. Okay.
Reels.
If you're nervous about doing video, one of my freebies is the Instagram stories prompts. So start on stories. Get yourself on video on stories, because after 24 hours, those go away. So if you don't love something, it's only there for 24 hours. It doesn't live on your feed forever. And don't delete things that you don't like, because that doesn't help you either. So keep your posts up. But if you had to prioritize, I would say reels, and then stories, and then posts would come after that. Does that answer your question? Okay.
I just need a microphone underneath the costume. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need to be permanently mic'd. It's fine.
Climb Cringe Mountain, dang it.
Yep.
All right.
Come
Thanks
get
for coming.
stickers at our booth.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming. If you have
Thanks
any
for coming.
questions, follow up. Yeah.